back to my channel where I discuss anime, manga, and more. And today we're going to be discussing a manhwa, I believe that's what it's called. It's a Korean webtoon that I have been reading. It is currently on hold as of this recording, but I am excited to go ahead and talk a little bit about it as well. I do want to make a disclaimer that it is a BL or a Yaoi, so beware if that's something that you don't want to listen about or hear about or any of that. Click off the video, find another one of my videos. So, but anybody that wants to go ahead and learn a little bit more, if you do know about it or if you haven't heard about it, we go ahead and discuss a little bit. I am going to try not to do too much spoilers in here, so that way you can actually read it and be able to not be spoiled completely on the story. That's something that I don't like. I hate being spoiled, so I'm just trying to get it spoiler free. Unless if it is spoiled, I will put spoilers in here, but this should not have any spoilers in it. So I do also want to let you know that I do not speak Korean. I am going to try to say their names. I may not say the names right, so I will have her here so that way she can let you know exactly what I'm trying to say, especially when it comes to some of their names. So again, I do apologize if I say any of them wrong. I butcher a lot of things, including English, so I wouldn't expect that I wouldn't be able to say Korean names correct either. So just please bear with me as we go through. So you may be wondering, what is Painter of the Night? Well, again, it is a BL. It is set in the older times, so we can go ahead and read a little bit about it. As of the recording, it only has 76 chapters out. If you have read it, don't spoil anybody in the comments. No one likes to be spoiled. But I will go ahead and read the synopsis together, and I'll have the images so you can kind of see a little bit of the artwork, because I do want to see the artwork is beautiful. So let's go ahead and read the story first. So Nakyum is a young painter with an exceptional talent, creating erotic images of men. Though he has published a few collections under a pseudonym, he has decided to quit painting. Then Sungo, a young nobleman, barges into his life, a hellraiser notorious of his insatiable lust. Sungo forces Nakyum to become his private painter. However, the nights that wait Nakyum are beyond anything he could have imagined. It is a really good story. It does have smut in it. I do want to let you know as well. It is 18 plus, but this is really good. So anyway, go ahead and go over the characters. So the first one is Nakyum. I'm hoping that I'm saying his name right. So Nakyum is actually a painter that really liked to draw erotic men, but he didn't think that he was intimate, but he for some reason enjoyed it. The only bad thing though is his teacher would always tell him that what he was drawing was horrible and needed to stop, and of course Nakyum ended up stopping painting and kind of put it behind him. Well, also Nakyum kind of had a little thing for his teacher, so he thought that, well, I may never say what my love is, but I will love you and respect you, so what you say is what I will do. That is, Sungo ends up popping up and realizes, hey, you're that painter that does erotic drawings. Well, guess what? I want you to paint for me. So Sungo, I hope that I'm saying his name right, because I'm not quite sure it's the same one as Killing Stalking, so I don't know. No, he was saying Lou. So, yeah, it's not the same thing, but it may take me a little bit. Hopefully I don't get them mixed up. But he does have the same Wu type of attitude in a way. He doesn't like walk him up in the basement or anything like that, but he still can be a little bit violent because he is a nobleman. He is used to getting his way no matter what. If he wanted something, he got it. That is just how it worked. That is just how it worked. So Nakyum didn't want to paint any more of those paintings, but Sunho wanted him to paint. But again, Nakyum wanted to follow what his teacher said and just say no. But that did not work out very well in several different ways. So Sunho ended up actually taking Nakyum in and forcing him to draw exotic paintings of him with his other partners that were all male. And of course, Nakyum, seeing something that he'd only thought in his mind for a long time, to see it live in action, made some feelings going on. And he kind of wondered whether or not if it was the correct feelings or not. He has a lot of that struggle going on inside of himself mostly, and also with how Sung-ho would treat Nakyum as well, whether or not if Sung-ho actually liked him or if he was just another piece of meat. So you have that whole little thing going on, because he kind of did treat Nakyum as a slave in a way. Well, he is a nobleman. Nakyum is a peasant, probably below a peasant. He really didn't see much in him. So that's the whole thing with that, with Nakyum. And then you have Sung-ho, which, like I said, he does remind me of Sang-woo from Killing Stalking. He does do a lot of violent things that a lot of people are not very happy about, and there are scenes that a lot of people do not like when it comes to consent either, because you do find out a little secret with Nakyum that Sung-ho did not know until a certain night had happened. And that's kind of where the relationship, if you would call it that at the time, actually started. And poor Nakyum is just not knowing what to do. Sung-ho, he just thinks that it's just another person that he can lay and that's it. But he's starting to realize that it could be a little bit more. Like, why does he get mad? Why does he get frustrated when Nakyum does something? Why does he worry when Nakyum does something? And he's starting to realize something about himself. And he does grow as a character, which is really nice. I know it's only 2 seasons in, but he is actually a really good character. And then also the other character that you have is the teacher, which a lot of people are not fond of. When you actually learn more about the teacher, you think that he is all for Nakyum and wanting to keep him out of trouble, especially when it comes to drawing erotic men. But you do find out that there is another reason why he is using Nakyum, especially when he finds that Nakyum is actually in hands with Sung-ho. So a lot of people are not very happy about it. I know when I read it, I wasn't very happy about when I found out what the teacher was doing, because it seemed like the teacher was on Nakyum's side and you were actually rooting for Nakyum to be with the teacher rather than the cycle of Sung-ho. But stuff happens and you'll just have to read it and see exactly what goes on. It does have a lot of drama on it. It does have a lot of etch in it, just saying. Gotta love that etch though. And it does have the character development. The character development kind of happens more in season 2 than does in season 1, because it's more of Nakyum trying to figure out whether or not if he's attracted to men or not, because you do learn that, yeah, he has an attraction towards his teacher, but does he love other men, or is it just, maybe it's not love, maybe it's just admiration, yeah, that word. So we just have to kind of figure out what's going to happen, especially when you get into season 2. You do learn a little bit more about Sung-ho and his past. You learn a little bit about Nakyum and his past as well. So what I liked about all the characters is that they do have a little bit of a personality in a way. I know a lot of times when people talk about the uke, they always talk about how they don't have any personality. I think Nakyum has a little personality. It's more of that he is very submissive when it comes to certain things, and Sung-ho is very dominant when it comes to a lot of things. So, but they do have a lot of growing going on. That's one thing that I do like, and I do hope that I get to see more of the growing in the season 3 when the author comes back. So when it comes to the side characters, I can let you know that I do not like a lot of the side characters, especially when the ones that are attached to Sung-ho. They're attached a little bit too much, and they do horrible things to try to get Sung-ho's attention, and I just want them out. So I cannot wait to see what exactly is going to happen in season 3. I don't really want to go too much in the side characters that I'm talking about, because it is, to me, I feel like it would be kind of a spoiler in a way. So I'm just going to be about it. So I am going to continue reading this once it starts to start up again. I'm really excited to see exactly where it goes. I hope that the review did a little bit of justice. Like I said, I don't want to spoil, so I'm trying to keep it as vague as possible. So you can read this on Lezen. They only have 2 chapters. I know that when I'm saying that there's 79 chapters is because I'm reading them a different way. But if you can find those routes, you can go ahead and read a little bit more. But also you do want to definitely support the author as well. And I know that they're way behind of what the author actually has. But if you want to read them on Lezen, you can go ahead. Like I said, there's only 2 chapters. But at least we can offer to the author, because that's always the best thing. And I will leave the link in the description down below. So I really hope that you enjoy this review. Like I said, I kept it vague because I did not want to spoil too much, and I hope that you still understood a little bit about the characters and kind of know what you're going to be getting into. It is historical, there is romance, there is some violence, there is some Con, I think that's what it's called. So just be aware of that. And a lot of times that doesn't bother me, and I'm used to reading a lot of manga like that, and I understand like it's a trope that we need to get rid of, but I've been reading manga for decades and I'm kind of used to it by now, so it really doesn't bother me any. So, but if that's something that you think that you'd be interested in, go ahead and definitely read it. I hope that you enjoyed this review. Comment what you liked. Have you read this, or is this on your reading list? Were you thinking about reading it but you weren't quite sure? I'm hoping that I at least explained it a little bit, so that way you guys know exactly what you'd be getting into if you have not read it. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Also, go ahead and ring that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!